You could turn in your Bibles to
Somebody once told me, hey now, what a concept. Somebody once told me, I said yeah. Go for the moon.
Hello and welcome back to Somebody Once Told Me, the podcast where we explore the voice of Christ and his church in the book of Psalms. We just did a little bit of a digging into the prescript of Psalm 7, which gives you the sort of context where Psalm 7 came from. But now we're going to get into the verses themselves. So to begin with, Aaron, do you want to read verse 1 and 2, and then we'll see what's going on at the start of this psalm?
O Lord my God, in you do I take refuge. Save me from all my pursuers, and deliver me, lest like a lion they tear my soul apart, rendering it to pieces, with none to deliver. O Lord my God, if I have done this, if there is wrong in my hands, if I have repaid my friend with evil, or plundered my enemy without a cause, let the enemy pursue my soul and overtake it, and let him trample my life to the ground, and lay my glory in the dust. Selah.
Okay, right. That was the first 5 verses. That's cool. We'll go for them.
Okay, sorry. Did you say
I
1
said
and 2?
verse 2. I mean, we did say maybe we'll do all 5, but let's do all 5. Let's commit.
Let's commit.
So,
Yes.
I get similar vibes at the beginning of this psalm to, really, especially Psalm 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And you know, the Christ here asking
Yeah.
for deliverance and asking for help and asking like to be saved
Yeah.
and for his cry to be heard, that sort of thing. You know, it's coming from a place of distress,
Mm-hmm.
which we know was Jesus's existence as the man of sorrows, constantly battling. So, yeah, would you say like that's true? But also particularly, what is it that's causing him to cry out?
Yeah, it sounds very similar to verse 3 and 4. Psalm 3 and 4. Like, answer me, Lord, my enemies are surrounding me. Psalm 3 talks about, breaking the teeth of the wicked because of their words. And then this one is, talking about, the lion that they tear. They tear him apart. Lions have teeth. And so it's in that similar sort of realm of, again, we're thrown back to Psalm 1 and 2 with the blessed man and the nations surrounding him. They rage against him. And we're back in that place of the enemies are all around. Very much in the same line of Psalms. It's the same run of Psalms, isn't it? Psalm 7 comes after Psalm 3, 4, 5, and 6. So they are linked, and it's just almost like his experience on one day and then another particular day, and it is his daily experience.
Yeah.
Jesus is going through life daily, being opposed by different people.
It's one thing after another.
He goes to one town,
Yeah.
and it's a group of Pharisees persecuting him and saying stuff about him. He goes to another town, and there's some farmers saying things about him. And he goes to his hometown, and his family are saying stuff about him.
Yeah.
And I think, this is definitely, like we said in the last podcast, this is more of an internal. It's closer to home. This one, it's just, they are tearing him apart like a lion, and these people he knows them, and they are saying things which are just destroying him, and he's calling out for the Lord for refuge to save him from his pursuers. It's like they're constantly like coming after him. That you get the crowds who follow him for the miracles, and you got the crowds who follow him just to say things in his ear.
Yes.
Just for the sake of it.
Let me make a suggestion of when he may have prayed this. I mean, we can assume he
Yeah,
prayed,
we can make guesses.
He could have prayed this a lot. Psalm 6, we were saying Garden of Gethsemane makes a lot of sense. I'm thinking when Jesus is being judged,
Yes.
and he's being quiet, he's not saying anything,
Yeah.
Silent as he stood accused, all of that. Maybe this is the prayer. This is how he can stay silent, because he's being accused of things, isn't he?
Yeah. They're bringing in false witnesses.
Yes, exactly. They're bringing in false witnesses.
They're like, quick, get that guy from that town.
That's it.
Just
They're
bring him
roping in every
just
Tom,
random
Dick, and
people.
Harry. Like, come on, and say, and they're what they say. Their testimonies don't add up.
Yeah,
and all of that.
yeah.
But maybe this, it's in that sort of moment Jesus is praying this to his Father. Verse 3: If I have done this, and there is guilt on my hands. If I have done evil to him who's at peace with me, or without cause have robbed my foe, that's what's going on. So he's hearing this, and he entrusts himself to his Father, doesn't he? Completely. He's the one who judges me.
Yeah,
that seems to make sense, doesn't it?
Even that bit there in verse 3. Can you imagine if they're bringing in false witnesses, and you're bringing in like a guy who lived next door to Jesus when he was a teenager, and he's like, he stole this from me.
Yes.
And Jesus is just like, what are you talking about? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. That's just like complete lies.
But then it clearly does. I'm always surprised as we've been going through this as how this really highlights the humanity of Jesus. And he is weak as we are in our humanity. Yeah. And you know how, and listeners, you may have experienced this. Someone falsely accuses you of something. But it's such a heavy accusation. There could be a bit of you that goes so rattled by it. You might think, hang on, did I do that or something? Like that's such a. Why would you say that? Because I feel like it's a total lie. But it feels like in that moment, as he's rocked by these accusations, he's saying, I don't think I did any of that. But if I have, Father, you're the God who judges justly. Yeah. I want to take this up with you. Yeah.
Yeah, it very much feels like that, doesn't it? And it teaches us to do the same when we are brought with accusations, which we know we haven't done, for being a Christian, or for if you're in a really rough family that are just out to get you. And I know people in church are going through something like this right now, where they're just family members and others, neighbors, coming up and saying false things. Look to Christ, like who went through that and knows that pain and that disorientation and the doubt. That's what you're talking about, isn't it? The doubt, that the what if I did, I just can't remember.
Yeah, because it's 15 years ago or something, or it's I like the example you give. Imagine they bring someone who lived next door to him when he was a teenager. It's like, well, that's 20 years ago. So like, I really don't think I ever did that, but that it just and obviously that lie is planted in the hearer's ears, and they'll be inclined to believe it even if it's not true. But I really love how he says, if it is true, if I have done this evil, verse 4, then verse 5, then let my enemy pursue me and overtake me. Let him trample my life to the ground and make me sleep in the dust.
Oh, I love that.
It's like, then I deserve to be condemned if this is true. So I'm just going to leave that with you, which is an incredible humility of just like, if that testimony is true about me, Lord, then let them just do what they will.
And that is as Christians, we should have that posture of if false accusations come our way, if things which are lies come our way, we should have that posture of going, okay, then let justice happen to me. I'm up for being someone who acknowledges, I did this, and okay, if you say that I stole, if you say that I did this, let's go to the people and let's sort it out. Let's go to the police. Let's go to the let's do it.
Because I care about the truth. I care about justice. And if I have done something that's evil towards you, then
let's figure this out. And I want to be humble. Are you willing to go through this with me? Let's go together. And then that will test then whether they're lying or not, because they'll just usually just go back down. Then.
Yeah.
And
But
And
he doesn't
Jesus-
want to cover it over. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants justice, and he entrusts himself to the justice of his Father.
And he knows that he's a God of justice and righteousness. And oh man, we need to practice this, because often the defense comes in for us is, no, that's ridiculous, and we match their lies with anger.
Yes.
But Jesus is like, no,
How dare you?
yeah,
And it can feel like that. And I do think probably in the next few verses, maybe if we wrap it up, there is a slight turn in the vibe of or the posture of the Christ as he prays.
yeah,
But for now, I think I find that helpful, thinking as he is being accused and is in the courts.
yeah.
Maybe this is the prayer he's offering up.
He's in the dock.
Cool. Well, thanks for listening. That's a quick run through verse 1 to 5.
Now we still are.
Oh, yeah. We've now Selah. Have a little break. Grab a coffee. We'll come back for the next few verses.
Somebody